Let's be real for a second. If you're in digital marketing, you know it can feel like you're being pulled in a million different directions, right? SEO, social media, paid ads. It's just a lot. Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise with a super powerful framework that gives you a single, clear path for growth.
I mean, seriously, have you ever felt completely overwhelmed by all the buzzwords? SEO, content marketing, funnels, ads. It feels like you're supposed to be an expert in everything all at once without any real sense of direction. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone.
But what if I told you the secret wasn't about mastering dozens of different tactics? What if the key to making your marketing actually work was just having a reliable map, a strategic framework that guides every single decision you make?
And this isn't some crazy, complicated theory. This map follows the one universal journey that every single customer goes on with a business, from the very first moment they hear about you, all the way to becoming a loyal, raving fan. And the best part? It works for any business in any industry.
So, what is this map? It's called the customer value journey. Think of it as more than just a marketing funnel. It's the foundation that makes sure every blog post, every ad, and every email you send all work together to move people forward.
The whole journey is broken down into 8 distinct stages. It starts when a complete stranger becomes aware of you. Then, you engage them, they subscribe to your list, and they convert by making a purchase. From there, you excite them with that purchase, they ascend to buy more, and finally, they become an advocate and actively promote you to others. That's it. That's our roadmap.
So, how do we get started? Well, the first part of this journey is all about getting on a prospect's radar and, more importantly, earning their trust. This is where we turn a total stranger into someone who actually wants to hear from us.
The first 2 steps here are awareness and engagement. Now, this is not the time to be pushy and go for the sale. Nope. Instead, your only goal is to provide value. You do this with content marketing, things like blog posts, videos, helpful social media updates, anything that helps solve your audience's problems or just entertains them. You're building a relationship first.
Let's look at a real-world example. The fashion retailer ModCloth does an absolutely fantastic job of this. As you can see, their blog is full of style tips and outfit ideas. They're not just yelling, "Buy our clothes," they're engaging their audience with content that's actually helpful, positioning themselves as a trusted resource in the fashion world.
This whole strategy is often shown as a funnel. At the very top of the funnel, or tofu, you have that broad content like blog posts that just creates awareness. Then, in the middle of the funnel, mofu, you might offer something more specific like a case study to really educate them. And finally, at the bottom of the funnel, or bofu, you guide them toward a purchase with things like demos or testimonials.
Okay, so once you've engaged someone, the next huge step is to get them to subscribe. This is where you make them an offer they just can't refuse. Not a product for sale, but something called a lead magnet. This could be a free PDF guide, a checklist, a webinar, something valuable. In exchange for that value, they give you their email address, which is basically giving you permission to talk to them directly.
Okay, so you've earned their attention, you've earned their trust. Now we're at a really pivotal moment in the journey, making that first sale and officially turning a lead into a customer.
This is the convert stage. Now, the key here isn't to try and sell your most expensive thing. Not at all. Instead, you want to offer something small, low risk. The goal is to change the relationship. It's a massive psychological shift. Once someone spends even $1 with you, they start to see themselves as a customer, not just a follower.
And this brings us to a crucial point. That first transaction has to deliver incredible value. This is the excite stage. If their first experience with you is just okay or worse, disappointing, the journey ends right here. A fantastic first impression is what builds the trust you need for them to even consider buying more from you down the road.
This brings us to the final and honestly the most profitable part of the whole journey. This is where we move past one-time sales and start building a base of loyal fans who come back to buy again and again.
This is the ascend stage. Once a customer has had a great experience, you can start offering them opportunities to buy more. A perfect example is Southwest Airlines. Right after you buy a plane ticket, what do? They offer you early bird check-in for a small fee. It's a simple add-on that makes the experience you're already having even better.
Now, the big picture business goal of the Ascend stage is to increase your customer lifetime value, or CLTV. That's basically the total profit you can expect to make from a customer over their entire relationship with you. By getting this part right, you're not just making one sale, you're maximizing your long-term profitability.
And finally, we get to the very top of the mountain, creating advocates and promoters. And listen, there's a really key difference here. An advocate is kind of passive. They'll say nice things about you, they'll leave a good review if you ask them. But a promoter? Oh, a promoter is an active evangelist. They go out of their way to tell their friends about you, creating that powerful, priceless word-of-mouth marketing.
So, when you put all 8 of these stages together, you don't have a random checklist of tactics anymore. What you have is a complete compass, a strategic guide for every single marketing activity you do. So let's just run through that map one last time. You start by getting discovered. Then you build relationships through content. You capture leads. You make that first small sale. You deliver an amazing experience. You sell more to them over time. And finally, you empower them to bring you reviews and referrals. See? Every step has a crystal clear purpose.
And that really just leaves one final question I want you to think about. Take a hard look at your own marketing. Are you just creating noise with a bunch of random tactics? Or are you using a map like this one to intentionally guide people on a journey? Because that difference, as we've just seen, is everything. Thanks for checking this out.